Today I talked to my therapist about how I've been having more depression or depression-ish symptoms the last month or so than I am used to having. And one of the things that we talked about was how I should try to take more time to like specifically do enjoyable things because I'm not very good at doing that. And I shared that one of the things I plan to do is like slow down on reading like trauma books and stuff like that because I think what I'm processing right now, which is really just like the reality of my attachment trauma and like relationship with my mom, is such like a big thing that it's going to take time. And so I can't like keep finding new like rabbit holes to go down in books because it's too much. And my therapist suggested like, well, maybe like pause on like the therapy books, but try like books that would be just fun. And I thought that was really interesting. The reason I haven't done that is because, at least since like middle school, I thought I didn't like fiction books. And I largely felt the same way about like movie and TV. But I've come around in therapy to realizing that the reason I kind of had this aversion to so much fiction content, whether it's books or movies or whatever else, was I was reading a lot of it as like cheesy and fake and like unrealistic, even though I'm not talking about like dragons and unicorns. I'm talking about like shows that are like about people, but they're, fake people. I read a lot of things as cheesy and like phony or fake, that other people wouldn't see that way. And I now understand that that was a defense that I was having related to my trauma, like a TV show like Full House, for example, I would see as like extremely cheesy and phony and fake because like nobody talks to kids the way that like kids and adults interact in that show. And of course, that's just not true. But I really kind of convinced myself of that as a kid um, that for whatever reason, there was just these like fake idyllic stories that are told in media, but that can't ever come close to really happening in real life. And of course, they are fake and they are uh, not real life. But I think I thought of them as way more false or way more detached from reality than what most fictional stories actually are. But it was a way I was like protecting against my like emotional neglect wounds. And I think that I'm now in a place where I probably can actually enjoy some fiction. But what's kind of weird about that is because I've avoided it my whole adult life, like I don't really have any idea of where to start or what I might even like. But in a way, I guess that's kind of a cool thing that I have a lot to potentially discover about what I like.